This is a beautiful appetizer dish that I created for a restaurant striving for Michelin star recognition. Mushrooms in cream is a common home dish in Austria, so the challenge was to take this familiar dish and make it into something spectacular, but still recognizable. However, the version I'm showing you here has a few shortcuts to make it easier, but believe me, it's still delicious just the way I'm showing it, and more practical and much less expensive. You should be able to make this fairly easily and impress your friends and family.
The ingredients for the first stage here are very simple. I've got about 75 grams of shallots. I've got 30 grams of butter melting in a pan slowly, and I've got about 2 teaspoons of the Austrian spice blend that I used in the roast duck legs. It's repeated here. This is the version though that I'm using poppy seeds instead of sesame seeds, and caraway instead of cumin seeds. So this is the more traditional version of the spice. Begin melting the butter on a low heat here. When the butter foams up like this, we can add the shallots, just sliced thin, not super thin, but fairly thin, as you can see. And we're going to begin sweating these before we add the seasoning mix to it. Just sweat them for a while first. I have the heat on medium here at 5 out of 1 to 10, and this is what it looks like after about 3 minutes. They're starting to soften, and I give it just about 1 more minute, I think, here before I add the spice. I actually let this go about 2 more minutes. Now I'm going to add that spice mixture, stir it around well. We're going to continue cooking it on the same medium heat setting, just a little bit more. The aroma of this is really good right now. Okay, coming up on 1 minute now since I added the spice. Now I'm going to add the white wine. 75 milliliters, same weight as the shallots were. And we're going to reduce this, still the same heat, medium. We're going to let this simmer away and reduce for just a little bit here. Okay, it's been a minute and a half. I'm going to kill the heat, but I'm going to leave the pan on the heat for just a minute while I get the next stage ready here. The purpose of this part here is really to get rid of a lot of the alcohol out of the wine so it doesn't get trapped in the dish. This is long enough. There's very little alcohol left. Most of it evaporated. So we go on to the next stage here. In the stick cup blender, I have already measured out 75 grams of cream cheese that's been softened at room temperature and 45 grams of sour cream. That's not all the sour cream we're going to use, but that's all we're going to use right now. Now we're going to add this to it and blend it. Puree it. Total puree is what you're looking for. Okay, now I'm going to transfer this into a little bowl here and keep this in the refrigerator until we're ready for the next stage. Taste this, and you can adjust the salt if it's not salty enough for you, but don't forget you're going to have other salty components added later, so don't make it too salty. Now, we need to firm this up a little bit though, so it's going to go in here with some cling film over it and put it in the refrigerator. Definitely taste this. You'll this is pretty delicious already. I've got 150 grams of mushrooms that have been just cut into quarters like this. They've been washed, of course, and dried off. We're going to use olive oil to fry these in, not butter, because we need a higher temperature. We really want to cook these at a high temperature for this dish. Now, this pan's already well above the boiling point of water. It's about 300 Fahrenheit right now. I'm going to add enough olive oil to coat the bottom of the pan, but no more. We don't want to make this into a soup or something. And we're going to let this oil get even hotter before we add the mushrooms to it. Also, I've chosen a pan that's about the right size for all the mushrooms to fit in a single layer, but not a lot of extra room around the sides. They're going to be packed in pretty close here, but that's okay in this case. We're going to really cook the bottom of them And briefly, this is the key. We need to cook these hot and fast. Okay, I just checked this with an infrared thermometer. It's 400 degrees Fahrenheit right now, about 200 Celsius. Single layer, closely packed, just like this. Now don't stir them around. Let them sit like this. And this is with a medium-high flame for just over 2 minutes. And you can see we've got some good color. Nothing's burnt though, not even close to burnt. And turn these over as best you can. You're not going to get them all perfectly turned over. That's okay. And give them a little shot of salt now. And cook them for about another minute. And when your minute's up, transfer them to a bowl. And then the exact same process is repeated for the next batch of mushrooms. And then, of course, just add these in with the previous batch and let them cool too. You want to cut them fairly slim. Don't cut them too thick, or they won't work well. And if you get an edge like this, that's good. This is what you want. You want to see an irregular edge like this. Then you take these pieces, you toss them in cornstarch like this. And then this gets deep fried. Just like this. After the mushrooms have cooled, there's juices at the bottom. We're going to ignore those. We're going to taking the mushrooms off of the top and working a few at a time here. This mixture is almost a solid now, and you have to combine this carefully so that you get the right consistency. So you do it a little bit at a time. This is about right for this stage. So the mushrooms are coated like this. And I'm going to add in a little bit more smetana, high-fat smetana or creme fraiche. Thicken this up just a little bit more. Just like this. Now it's ready for plating with the beets and the chives.
The second volume of my cookbook is now available through Amazon and other booksellers. It covers the YouTube recipes from the last 8 months with more in-depth information. I received requests for the procedures on all recipes, and I've listened to you. Every recipe has step-by-step directions, and of course there are recipes that aren't on YouTube. But this is not just a recipe book. Far from it, as you can see from some of the topics scrolling by here. I'm certain that anyone who watches my channel and any serious cook will find this book a treasury of useful and new information you won't find anywhere else. If you want to know more about my adventures as a chef around the world and have some great laughs along the way, be sure to check out the video tour of my book, 40 Years in One Night. It's up on YouTube right now. Click the link. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.